Hello, I'm Mike Petters, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to a Navy Christmas. Standing around me are just a few of the talented men and women who are building our nation's newest carrier, CVN-77, the George H.W. Bush. We're here to wish the officers and crew serving on the USS Theodore Roosevelt a joyous holiday season. Please know that here at Newport News, we are honored to build the ships you sail throughout the world. And we thank you so much for your dedication and service to our country. Happy holidays!
This is the 20th annual Navy Christmas, and this is the 20th year that Taco Bell has been a proud sponsor. The military is something that is near and dear to our hearts, and being part of this project is very important to all of us at Taco Bell. We truly value all that the military does.
The military keeps us safe, they protect our freedoms, and they help us sleep a little better at night. These are just a few of the reasons why we have been sponsoring a Navy Christmas for 20 years.
We'd like to take a moment to thank the military. Thank you for protecting and preserving our freedoms. Thank you for making us feel a whole lot safer. And thank you for the tremendous courage that you exhibit daily.
We'd like to thank your families for their strength, their support, and their bravery. As you watch this year's program, think about those men and women in the armed forces for a moment. Many are far away, working hard for all of us back here at home. Think about the families that are celebrating their holiday with that one person missing. That person is serving our country and defending our freedom.
Please take a moment to remember them as you celebrate your holidays.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this year's program.
Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan. Back in 1986, I was part of the first Navy Christmas program we did. So was number 2 back there. That is the USS Saipan. Hard to believe, this is the 20th annual. 20 years of telling the story of our Navy families and showing appreciation for all the military here in Hampton Roads. In the next hour, David Allen, Regina Mobley, Velma Scaife, Sella Kim, and of course our military reporter, Mike Gooding, will work their magic. But we begin, as we do every year, on Deployment Day. For USS Austin, that was November 4th, and 13 News reporter Carl Leimer was on board as they said goodbye.
A deployment goodbye is different and never easy. Tears flow more freely, hugs are more intense. Kisses last a little longer, and for the sailors on the USS Austin, it's the last time to hold loved ones for at least 6 months.
It's very tough. I have 2 small kids, so it's tough.
My youngest son's first Christmas, so it's a little harder, but we'll make it.
There are plenty of sad faces and heavy hearts, families reluctant to let go, but the sound of duty calls. And it's all hands on deck as the Austin pulls away from the pier. Many put on a brave face, trying to keep their spirits up. Being away during this time of year will be extra tough.
We're all very, very well aware of the fact that this deployment will take us through everything from Thanksgiving to Christmas.
creating a range of feelings and emotions that varies from sailor to sailor.
You know, I'm a little excited and I'm a little nervous because I ain't never been on deployment.
Actually, I am feeling a little bit depressed.
It's hard right now, but I know everything's going to be okay.
For my little sister, I know it really hurts her. Well, it's a good hurt, though.
While Hampton Roads is still in sight, and before all that is familiar disappears in the distance, there is time for one final goodbye.
You can't just leave without making that last phone call. Normally, you got to call someone and say, I love you, I'm going to miss you.
Many counting the days till the Austin returns, and they're back in their loved one's arms.
I mean, I'm trying to take it one day at a time and pray that, it goes by fast every day. And, before I know it, I'll be back home.
Welcome aboard the guided missile cruiser USS Cape St. George, another ship with some 300-plus sailors that are away from home this holiday season. As they get into the daily routine of the ship, it's all about the work and it's all about the job. Do they ever get into a holiday funk out here?
We get a little funk, but try to keep it light with having a Christmas meal, with turkey dinner and stuff like that to make time go by. A lot of long working hours and 14, 16, 18-hour days, so it's a lot of work overseas.
Among these sailors, we discovered one who's from Virginia Beach and a graduate of Princess Anne High School who told us how he survives holiday deployments.
Supporting my family here back at home and, just trying to get through the day, each day.
The more we asked around, the more we ran into sailors who really get into their jobs, too.
A lot more heavy artillery. I work with cannons and stuff like that on board, so it's a lot of fun. I get to do a lot of stuff that I'm real interested in, work with a lot of equipment that I've never had a chance to work with before.
This is the wardroom on Cape St. George. Among these officers, we asked the ship's executive officer how he'll be spending Christmas Day.
Well, I'll be a little busy that day, I think. We'll be out underway carrying out operations, so it'll go fast.
They hope it will go fast, and they hope it'll be a real learning experience, too.
Well, we've got a couple programs that help out with that. We've got one that's a reading program where you can tape things, read books and things like that, send those home to the little ones. Obviously, communication. We're much better now than we used to be with email, so emails and phone calls home are always a big help. The key, though, is to have flowers, gifts, and all that lined up ahead of time so they arrive without you, because nothing will get you in trouble worse than you just blow it off. You don't want to go there.
They tell us during wartime the stress increases, and so does the workload.
Well, I'd say they add some, they make it busier. I would say it makes it a little more stressful, but we're trained up. We've spent a lot of time and effort getting trained and ready for the deployment, and a lot of our folks really are anxious to go. This is the first time they've had a chance to get away from home, and they're ready to deploy, and they're ready to go to the tip of the spear.
Command Master Chief Chris has been at this for 24 years, but this is only his second holiday deployment.
Well, as you see, especially during the holiday season, it's pretty hard around here. Average age rate of 21 on board this ship. Biggest thing we have during the holiday season is try to keep them occupied, keep their minds going, because pretty soon our missions go over and do the country's business, but along the same note. That's why we have education, we have classes on the ship. We have some very hard-working sailors on board this cruiser.
Yes, hard-working sailors who need to know someone is there for them.
The ship is actually a family. We have to take care of each other. We take care of the mess decks. It's just letting them know somebody truly does care.
Someone else who really does care is the chaplain on board USS Cape St. George. Chaplain William is on his second active duty tour in the Navy.
There are experts in other fields here, but I am here to serve my people, and I mean that. And we do it 24/7, whether it's with counseling, with religious ministries, with just, hey, somebody with a friendly, smiling face and a listening ear. And so that's my mission. And if I can help accomplish that, then the whole overall mission is accomplished.
Now Matthew runs the ship's hospital. He too has a role to care for crewmen on board USS Cape St. George.
A lot of times we all get together and kind of bond a little bit, do the whole big family thing and get together and talk about Christmas gifts and family events and whatnot.
All these sailors wanted to pass along holiday greetings to their loved ones back home.
Hi, Rainbow. I just wanted to say I love you, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and I'll be home soon. Love you.
We wish everybody back home here in Virginia Beach and Norfolk Merry Christmas. My mother, my father, my fiance. I love you very much, and I'll see you when I get home.
to my family back home, Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are enjoying the winter, and I'll see you when I get home.
All right, Merry Christmas to Karen, Rebecca, Sarah, and Jack. Happy holidays, and I'll be home soon.
I want to say hello to my wife Kathy, my daughters Lisa and Beth. I look very forward to seeing you when we do get home, and I love you all.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, Evelyn. I love you. Kara, Lydia, Bethany, Merry Christmas from me. We'll see you soon.
Happy holidays, Hampton Roads, USS Cape St. George Engineers.
Hello, Lynette and kids. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from me.
Happy holidays, Hampton Roads, from the officers and chiefs of the USS Cape St. George.
The USS Theodore Roosevelt is the carrier away from home this holiday season. 18-year-olds working 18-hour shifts is the norm. Some see it as a job, some see it as a privilege, but all see it as a long, long way from home.
The 5,000 sailors and Marines on Roosevelt are doing their part in Operation Iraqi Freedom. This marks the end of an era for the F-14 Tomcat. The fighter will be retired after this cruise. Lieutenant J.G. Ripp is a VF-31 Tomcatter. He is missing home, but facing this holiday deployment realistically.
It's lonely in the sense that you're away from your family and your friends back home, but then again, it's kind of the band of brothers thing. You're out here being out here for a couple months, doing what we're doing out here makes you closer to the guys.
The supply department on Roosevelt is doing its part this year.
The holiday meal means just about everything to the crew when we're away from our families. Give them a little taste of home, and we can definitely do the best job we can to make them feel happy and increase the quality of life.
And this holiday season on Roosevelt, that is what it's all about.
Soldiers at Fort Eustis know their time to go fight the war on terrorism could come any time, so they train constantly to be prepared. Here, recent Army recruits practice rapid onloads and offloads of Chinook helicopters.
I think most of us, well, I joined the Army for reasons that I don't mind defending my country.
Eventually, deployment day does come. In this case, it's the Army's 7th Transportation Group 155th Cargo Transfer Company. Around 200 soldiers in all, many pulling their second Operation Iraqi Freedom hitch.
We're prepared. We've trained hard for the last couple months. We're going to deploy and support the President's mission in CENTCOM AOR, and we're going to go there and do a good job and come back safe and sound.
But that, of course, is the unspoken concern, making it home. As fate has it, this deployment day comes the very day America reaches a grim milestone, the day the U.S. death toll in Iraq passes the 2,000 mark. It's not an easy day.
How do you guys prepare for a year apart?
You really can't. You just kind of have to enjoy it while it's here and then just wait for the homecoming.
A homecoming that likely won't happen until October 06, long after these holidays are over. Still, if these families could have just one Christmas wish,
just wait on her to get back and take care of my son. That's about it. That's the biggest thing, helping my son get through it.
The joy of Christmas spread abundantly here at the Naval Amphibious Base Little Creek.
Woo, like magic, huh?
Children enjoyed clowns, music, food, and posed for the camera with Santa.
Right now we're going to take a picture of Santa.
Celebrating the spirit of Christmas and celebrating freedom.
Without freedom, we wouldn't be able to come to the party, we wouldn't be able to go to school.
That's what Sabra tells her 6-year-old daughter every time Alex asks why Daddy can't be here this Christmas. He is currently serving overseas.
He's having a hard time, and they are too.
But Alex, although she's only 6, understands.
I'm proud of my daddy.
Sodoya, whose husband is also serving overseas, thought of a unique way to celebrate the holidays this year.
Usually we stay at home for Christmas, but this year I think I'm going to take them to see the White House for Christmas and the monument.
Still, she admits it just won't be the same this year, which is why this USO holiday party helps. Her husband may be away, but they have a family to spread the holiday cheer with right here.
Happy holiday!
It's wonderful to come together with people who are in our same situation. They're going to be, without their loved one this Christmas. and knowing we're not alone.
My name is Angelique McBee. I'm stationed on board the USS Austin. I'd like to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to my husband, Aaron, my father, my mom, and my grandmother and aunt in Virginia Beach and up in D.C. Merry Christmas. I miss you. Be home soon. Bye.
From the crew of the USS Austin, Happy Holidays, Hampton Roads.
On behalf of all the families of the Austin, we want you to know we're doing great here. We love you. Have a Merry Christmas, and we're looking forward to coming home.
I'm Lieutenant Commander Dan Evans, the Executive Officer on the USS Austin, and I just want to wish a very happy and Merry Christmas to my lovely wife Stephanie, and our little boy Jacob, and my daughter Kayla. I miss you all very much, and I can't wait to get back home and see you. Merry Christmas.
From the USS Austin, Happy Holidays, Hampton Roads.
Much like the Navy, the Coast Guard will be busy Christmas Day. Coasties here at Training Center Yorktown say it's all about commitment in a post-9/11 world.
Hold on.
446 was once again.
They're the most maneuverable boats in the Coast Guard's fleet, added after 9/11 to provide an extra measure of security. Today in the waters off Training Center Yorktown, Coasties put these response boats through their paces. Yorktown is the only training ground for the boats, uniquely designed to turn back a terrorist strike on a high-value asset like a cargo ship. Christmas Day, the boats and their crews will be on standby, ready for action at a moment's notice.
We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That's the mission today for the 2,000 Coasties serving overseas in the War on Terror and those closer to home who guard our shores. MK2E5 Desmond Wright was just a young Coastie on 9/11.
In life, it changed my view. It made me appreciate my family. I have 3 children and my wife. It made me appreciate my family a whole lot more.
Family is very much what the Coast Guard is all about, on holidays or any day. Senior Chief John Haas says he encourages Coasties to look after each other and invite friends over for holiday dinners. In the military, it's all about being creative when it comes to the holidays.
You might have Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas in October. Christmas presents. You go make Christmas presents, hide them in the house someplace.
Training Center Yorktown is an extended family, ties reaching all across the water. Bernie Manning is from UK and a member of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. Manning is in the U.S. as part of a 2-year training exchange program, very impressed by the work of his counterparts here.
Men and women that come to do the training here are the same type of people that do it in the UK. It really is that across the water, across a different interpretation of language, but it's the same desire to be on the water and to do something.
The Coast Guard is quick to say Homeland Security is not a new mission. It's just more visible than prior to 9/11. With 361 ports to guard and 95,000 miles of shoreline to protect, there's always work for the Coast Guard. Semper Paratus is the Coast Guard's motto, always ready, even on Christmas Day.
Hi, I'm John Powery, District Manager of the Dodge Dealers of Hampton Roads. We are honored to be a presenting sponsor of this holiday season's tribute to America's Armed Forces. We want each of you, your families, your loved ones to know how much we appreciate your commitment and the sacrifices you make serving our country. We are proud to be here for you, and we are especially thankful that you are here for all of us.
Hello, I'm Gary Brandt, President and CEO of Marine Hydraulics International, an employee-owned American company. Thank you for watching the 20th Annual Navy Christmas. The MHI family is proud to bring to you the sailors, the Marines, and soldiers protecting our country worldwide. We remain vigilant in caring about our men and women and are proud of the great job that they are doing every day. Our thoughts and our prayers go out to them and their families. Please join us for a heartwarming experience with our military men and women.
On the deck of the USS Austin, it's the dawn of a new day, and time for the crew to get up and get going.
Good morning, USS Austin!
There are lots of chores and things to do to prepare for the day's events. On the agenda, a stop in Morehead City to pick up Marines. They are the last piece of this military team and critical to the mission's success. Once overseas, they are the men expected to be on the front lines.
Goodrich. Hurrah, First Sergeant. Hurrah. Harris. Hurrah, First Sergeant. Hurrah. Aaron. Hurrah, First Sergeant. Hurrah. Jacobs. Hurrah.
The Marines have that reputation. They send us into the worst spots. We expect that. And we'd be disappointed if they sent us out somewhere where we're guarding a flower bed somewhere. So.
And the serious business of war requires plenty of equipment and supplies. Vehicles of every size and shape are put on the ship, each deck carefully loaded, filling every available space. For many on the Austin, this is their first deployment. For others, the first time during the holidays. Either way, the sailors and Marines face a variety of emotions.
Try to keep a good head, cool head, try to stay safe because it get real dangerous out here where we're about to go and the mission that we're about to accomplish.
It's kind of makes your inside tremble a little bit. You just don't really know how to feel. You feel one day you feel you're excited, the next day you feel scared.
The threat of danger is a constant reminder that fighting the war on terror is a great sacrifice, one these brave men and women proudly and willingly do.
Even though we are warriors and this is our job, I wouldn't be disappointed if peace broke out and we're back home on the 25th of December. That'd be awesome.
The USS Carr is another ship away this holiday season.
The ship and the crew are prepared for anything. We train, a lot to handle anything that, may come up throughout the world. So we're ready.
On this day, Master Helmsman Castro was a busy man in training.
Well, my 1 year mark on board is at 26, so I'm excited about being able to be on board the ship 1 year and then go straight into a deployment. It's my first deployment, so I'm looking forward to it.
You gotta love this sign in the Carr's Chief's Mess. There's no place on a ship like the Chief's Mess. Command Master Chief Christopher has been at this for 26 years now.
As an old timer, we always say, it's not as, it's different when I was a young sailor, but it's really not too much different. Still have the same issues, young sailors, not too much different.
And does deploying during wartime worry these young sailors?
It definitely does, especially for my mother. I know my mother worries about me a lot, but I feel really confident in my crew and the people that I work with.
So what is the mission of this Perry-class frigate?
The focus has been on such missions such as maritime interdiction operations and generally supporting the global war on terrorism. We still keep our hand in ASW, it's anti-submarine warfare, and we train hard at that. And that has been a big part of our preparation for deployment as well.
Yeah, stand by to shift blue wall service pumps.
The engineering department is ready.
We have 2 engines, but we have the little added benefit of only having 1 shaft. So our job is a little more intense because anything that could affect that shaft from turning instantly means that we can't accomplish our mission. So these guys stay on the job 24/7 down here to make sure that we keep going in the pointed direction.
And these Carr sailors deserve a chance to send their loved ones a holiday greeting.
From Carr Engineering, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
To my wife and my daughters, I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I'll see you in the spring.
All day Christmas, I just want to enjoy myself, keep my family and friends in talk, pretty much have a good time.
Jean Marie, it's my first Christmas away from home. I know you would not have ever expected to see me on television, but I miss you, baby. I love you.
Well, Melissa, Kelly, Rachel, Sabrina, I just want to say I love you and I miss you. And Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you soon.
From USS Carr, happy holidays, Hampton Roads. Yeah!
Labor Day weekend, the crew of the USS Tortuga was on station in New Orleans, responding to the worst natural disaster in recent U.S. history. She was the tip of the spear in an all-hands effort to provide much-needed assistance to the people of the Gulf Coast. The help arrived from the Mississippi River as small search and rescue teams from the Tortuga went door to door and offered food, clothing, shelter, and much-needed medical care. The mission was personal for Petty Officer Clifton Casimir. New Orleans, his hometown, was a disaster area. How's it going? Haven't seen you since New Orleans. As the year comes to a close, Clifton is thankful all of his family members survived the storm and their home still stands.
A great deal of my family is now located in the Atlanta area, but my parents and my sister, they opted to stay in Louisiana upon finding our home was not flooded.
But the place where Clifton married his bride earlier this year, Galilee Baptist Church, was underwater. His father, Reverend James Casimir, is the pastor.
He's currently getting that church put back together. It received some flooding. So he's working on that and keeping what left of the congregation together.
Casimir has been in the Navy for 16 years. He says the mission to the Gulf was the most significant assignment of his career.
To me, it seemed like a dream. I couldn't believe that, for one, they picked our ship to go down there, and just going up the Mississippi River, taking a look at it, just something I couldn't believe, but I was very happy to be a part of it, to help out my fellow New Orleanians. And it's something I would carry with me for a long time. I was just happy that I was picked to come down to help out.
With Katrina. Another sailor I met on the Tortuga, Tiffany Howard, has similar thoughts about the humanitarian effort. Her children live with their dad and grandma in Georgia. When the kids miss mom, grandma shows them the story that featured Tiffany back in September.
With all the publicity we got for going down there and showing the ship and the other personnel and the families, they got to see mommy at work, so it was really cool.
And so when you get back?
Yeah, whenever I come home, they go to the TV and they point at the TV and they say, "Mommy, Mommy," because my mom tries to play it for them, so they stay in contact with me and stuff. So.
The country is still trying to put the city of New Orleans back together, and families are still putting their lives back together. Tortuga sailors know they played a major role in the first steps of the road to recovery.
When the Marine Corps reserves aren't protecting this country's military interest here at home and overseas, you'll probably find some of the men and women involved in local projects that give back to the community.
I like giving back.
That's what the Holiday Fun Run in Newport News was all about.
So I want you to be really careful when you're running. There's quite a few potholes on the road. Be careful about the potholes. Most of the leaves have been blown off. Listen up!
First off, we'd like to thank everybody for showing up. I'd like to thank the Marines for helping us put this on. Make sure you have a number showing on the front of your shirts so you can see it when you cross the finish line. If you don't have a number, don't cross the finish line, okay? There's a lot of potholes, particularly right here. So watch your step here in the first 100 yards or so. So everybody have a good race. We'll be here waiting on you. So come on back. Okay, on your mark. Set.
And off they go, the young and the young at heart. Close to 700 Toys for Tots supporters, runners, and walkers put on their jogging shoes and got pumped up in a race for a good cause. The effort gave the Marines close to $6,000 to buy new toys.
That just really touches you, and you know that you're doing something good.
In this season of giving, the Marine Corps' Toys for Tots campaign tries to make it a good Christmas for children whose parents may not be able to afford gifts.
Thank you, buddy.
In the weeks and months before the holiday, the Marines collected and purchased toys for needy boys and girls in Hampton Roads. It takes a lot to be one of Santa's helpers.
Really comes down to those young children. They're going to get a gift on Christmas Day, and that's something that we can't do enough to support those young needy children.
Nice race, way to go. Do a lot of parents that'll come through, and the moms will come through, and they'll just be amazed by the amount of toys that they're able to receive because they're not expecting what we give them.
When it comes to Toys for Tots, it doesn't matter if you finished first or finished last. It's a finish for the kids.
Military reporter Mike Gooding has been turning out some incredible stories for 20 years now, and he's found another one, this time in Norfolk. It's the heartwarming story of veterans helping veterans, and at this time of year, it doesn't get any better.
Well, Joe, heroes have any number of definitions, as we well know, and not just those currently marching off to participate in the current war on terrorism. Here at American Legion Post 60 in Norfolk, heroes from the past are doing what they can to help fellow heroes at the holiday time of the year. They say it's the least they can do, putting on a couple of holiday meals at Thanksgiving and Christmas, all in an effort to make sure the patients at the Hampton Veterans Affairs Hospital aren't forgotten. Patients like 21-year Army veteran John Dixon, who was left in a wheelchair thanks to a drunk driver.
Veterans helping veterans, just people helping people in life. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate this, because this is what the good Lord put us on this earth to do, is people helping people. You know, I mean, and I met people from all walks of life, you know, and it means so much to me.
Former Army soldier Michael Hudson, also injured in a car accident, agrees.
Oh yeah, it's an honor to be here, and it's a wonderful thing they're doing here. Really, you know.
It's great. They're great. The American Legion does this every year, and they really do good.
American Legion and auxiliary members say it's their pleasure to do their small part to spread a little holiday cheer.
For me, it's very personal because I am a veteran, and we all are veterans, and we all go over to the VA hospital. Majority of us get our medicine. And it's good to have our post to participate in this, because it shows them that we care and we are concerned about them. They are not forgotten.
This is our 4th year, and like I say, I tell the veterans, we are grateful to be doing this for them. We appreciate them, and that they don't owe us nothing, we owe them everything. And as long as I'm commander here, we will continue to do it.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this holiday season. Even though we are separated from family and friends, we are grateful for your holy concern for us.
Faith plays a big part of surviving a Christmas deployment. Chaplain Tommy on board Roosevelt tries to accommodate all denominations.
It's important that we're here serving. I think what's really important is for everyone to know that there are troops on the ground and they need our help. We're there to keep them from harm's way, and that's makes it worth it to be over here and away from our families.
Reminders of home adorn the ready room walls.
Father, as I close this prayer, take care of America and all the nations of the world. May we all know the peace and joy we celebrate this time of year. For it's in your name I pray. Amen.
And we say a prayer for all of you.
In the 1920s, military personnel weren't able to purchase automobile insurance because they were considered high risk. So in 1922, 25 military officers decided to pool their resources to insure each other, and USAA was formed. For more than 80 years now, USAA has been proud to provide insurance and other financial products to the military community. And today, the men and women of our armed forces who were thought to be bad insurance risks nearly a century ago are the best insurance this country has, as they protect the freedoms we all enjoy. Hello, I'm Bill Putnam, General Manager of USAA's Mid-Atlantic office in Norfolk. Just like you, many of USAA's employees have spouses, siblings, and other family members currently deployed. We know what it means to serve and how hard it is to be away from loved ones during the holidays. We hope this program will make you feel a little closer to them. All of us at USAA are grateful to all the men and women who serve and to their families here at home for all you give and sacrifice for our nation. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Larry Pope, President and Chief Operating Officer of Smithfield Foods. We are pleased to be part of this year's Navy Christmas with 13 News. We are all proud of the men and women in uniform who serve and protect us every day around the world. We understand that their commitment requires many of them to be away from their families during the holiday season. Enjoy this presentation of Navy Christmas and remember those who made it possible for us to celebrate this holiday season in freedom and peace.
As the USS Austin heads out to sea, life on board the ship begins.
thoughts shift from families to the tasks at hand.
I try to put my mind away from thinking about home, and then I start thinking about my job.
In a lot of ways, it's a sense of relief that we're finally underway and we're on our way doing what we've trained to do for the last couple of years.
That training includes the serious business of defending the country. A pair of 20mm guns protect the ship. If an enemy attacks, it's the last line of defense.
And it's our anti-ship missile defense weapon system. Its role basically is to shoot down incoming missiles.
On the safety of the open sea, the crew prepares to test the system.
Conducting live fire gunnery exercises. Request all vessels remain clear.
A plane flies by overhead. Behind it, a decoy simulating a missile attack on the ship. As the missile goes by, the gun locks on. It's over quickly, but the test is successful, and for this exercise, the ship is safe. There are many fascinating and unique jobs on board the ship. Some are very exciting, some are more subdued, but all are important to ensure that day-to-day life on the ship runs smoothly. Perhaps nowhere is that more evident than in the kitchen. Food is prepared around the clock. Feeding the hungry crew is a non-stop job.
Would you like, sir?
The menu is constantly changing. Between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the cooks serve up nearly 2,400 meals a day.
If the food's good, then that makes everybody's day a whole lot better. So.
Kind of a bright spot in a lot of people's days, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
Then there are the extras, life's little pleasures.
75 cents per change, have a good day.
At the ship's store, sailors can browse for a movie or CD, or purchase those all-important staples of the American diet. What are people buying right now?
Just basically Gatorades and potato chips and stuff, basically junk food.
Finally, during this time of year, thoughts often turn to religious matters, as many reflect on the meaning of the season.
Our spiritual awareness is greater, and we have a need for worship and to express our faith.
So as the day slows down on the Austin and the lights of the ship are dimmed, a prayer goes out for the crew, a chaplain's reminder of a greater, higher purpose.
Keep us focused on our purpose, steadfast in our duties, and above all, encouraged by an ever-increasing faith in you as our righteous God and loving Savior. Amen.
When the USS Nassau left on this holiday deployment, she left behind the loved ones that mean everything to Nassau sailors. Just ask those sailors.
Pray a lot and try to call my wife as much as I can.
Have you done it before?
Yes, I have.
How'd you get through that one?
With her help, I was basically getting a lot of care packages when she sent me things from back home to stateside back to us overseas.
This is the berthing area where sailors sleep. Their small bunks are their private space.
Underneath mine, I have my magazines I'm going to read for 6 months, all my clothes, my uniforms, everything I'm going to need.
Not a lot of space.
No, it's not. You have to cram 6 months worth into a 6x6 space.
The commanding officer of Nassau is Captain Mike, and in 29 years in the Navy, he's only been on one holiday deployment.
It's just luck of the draw. I've been fortunate, and it's about all I can say.
He credits his engineers for keeping this 26-year-old steamship running. On this only his second holiday deployment, Captain Mike is missing a lot.
Well, for this particular holiday, we deploy on my wife's birthday. Be gone for both my children's birthdays and mine, as well as Christmas and my 32nd wedding anniversary.
You'll have a lot to make up when you get back.
Well, it makes the homecoming all that more pleasant.
How would you like the job of feeding all the sailors and Marines on board Nassau?
Well, we're feeding close to 3,000 people every day. It takes about $22,000 to $25,000 to feed them every day. So I manage the inventory, carrying about $1.5 million worth of food on board. So that's a huge tasking.
In half a month, they can go through $500,000 worth of food.
And once again, when we're out here, we have Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Super Bowl Sunday. So I've loaded all that stuff up, and we're ready to celebrate those events and make sure that the heart of the operation of the ship is here on the mess decks. I want to take care of the sailors and the Marines, and really with what's going on over here in the Middle East, that's what we need to do.
We've been doing this Navy Christmas for 20 years, and we've spent many days at sea on board Old No. 4, one fine amphib.
Oh, I love Nassau. Actually, this is my second tour on Nassau, and when I become CEO, it'll be my third tour.
5 out of the last 7 years of my life when I leave here. So there's nothing I don't like about Nassau.
These Nassau sailors had to take time to pass along their best holiday messages to their loved ones back home.
From Nassau Medical, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
Hi, my name is Captain David Lassiter. I'd like to say happy holidays to everyone in the Hampton Roads area. And I'd like to say hi to my family, my wife Cheryl, my son Matthew, and my daughter Sarah. I love you and miss you and look forward to seeing you soon.
From USS Nassau, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
I'd love to say hello to my wife, Patricia Jones. I miss you very much, and I can't wait to get home. See you soon.
Denise, Jesse, Shelley, and Chris, wish I was there with you. Thanks for the support.
Nassau Engineering Department, happy holidays, Hampton Roads.
Hi, Commander Steve Moran here with TACRON 21 attached to Nassau Strike Group. Merry Christmas to my wife Kathy, son Kyle, and daughter Kara. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to the rest of the TACRON 21 family.
I'd like to say Merry Christmas to my family, my wife Chris, and my daughters Heather and Kelly, and I'll be home soon.
Rosemont Cemetery, Jayton Patterson's final resting place, the place where his family connects.
This says a special grandson, so that must be from Nana.
Letters and cards left to this Marine, this husband, this son. With death, he left a wife, Stephanie, and a daughter, 2-year-old Claire, who never got to know him. This visit, never easy, but it grows easier every day.
Yes, it is much better. It has sunk in. The first couple of months were really rough.
Stephanie Patterson says routine has helped. She's in school, and then there's Claire, the center of her life, but at times a reminder of what was.
So I'm starting to not associate her with him as much. Whereas before, every time I looked at her, she looked just like him, and it was hard. But now, you know, she's Claire. She's my daughter.
And a granddaughter. Frank and Sharon Patterson have leaned on this little girl.
Claire has been a big part of filling those holes in our heart. And she's helped us through a lot of hard times.
Tough times that began with a very public burial. 600 people turned out in this small town. Everyone knew Jayton a little bit, or they saw him buried on the news, giving them a sometimes awkward connection to this family.
They don't know what to say. I'm meeting new people, and that's all that they know about you, is what happened to you. They're a little awkward.
I may have had a few people, you know, that come up to me and said, I just don't know what to say. But when they hug you, you know, they're saying it right then.
And it's said in letters from complete strangers.
Like this one says, although I didn't know Jayton very well, his story was inspiring. My heartfelt prayers are with you all, Sharon.
Those letters give comfort. And so do the letters from Jayton, which provide insight into his struggle with this war. He wrote this to his father.
Perhaps all of this will change me. I don't know if it will be for the good or the bad. I can't wash my thoughts of the dramatic deaths I've experienced. One statement he made in there that really touched my heart was, he said the war going on in Iraq was nothing compared to the war going on in his heart.
Spiritual war.
With what he was having to do over there.
See, Jayton and I kind of both agreed on it. He didn't really want to be in the war, but when you're a Marine, you do your job.
That job cost him his life and his family their son and husband. But his memory lives on in the pictures, his medals, and his daughter. They are a measure of a man who gave all for his country.
When the alarm sounded during this record-breaking hurricane season, the U.S. military answered the call. As military reporter Mike Gooding tells us, it was the call to duty.
Well, Joe, it's not just at the holiday season of the year that Hampton Roads military men and women ship out into possible harm's way, but throughout the year. Earlier this year, one very special group of Navy men and women shipped out not overseas, but right here to our own soil. They came to be known collectively as Task Force Gulf Coast. Thousands of Hampton Roads-based Navy personnel who responded to the natural disaster double whammy of Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. They flew search and rescue missions night and day and did what they could to help the Gulf Coast states recover.
How does it feel, you know, to be out rendering this kind of aid to people at this time when they need help, you know?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean,
you can't buy better training. I mean, train, then you get the opportunity to go out there and do it. It's a real good feeling.
The amphibious assault ship USS Iwo Jima served as command ship and primary recovery staging platform for the U.S. military's massive relief efforts.
Well, we're out here to do a job, and that's what we're out here to do, and we're doing it.
Yes, well, it's our job. You know, this is our rate. This is what we do. This is what we train to do, to help out whichever way we can. If it's over, in another country, or if it's in our state.
Navy leaders say such a domestic role is nothing new. The military's been pitching in times of crisis like this throughout the nation's history. Outgoing Navy Mid-Atlantic Region Commander Rear Admiral Stephen Turcotte says Gulf Coast relief efforts he oversaw were among the most rewarding missions of his long and distinguished career, and he'll never forget the courage, dedication, and teamwork.
I got down to see the devastation along the Gulf Coast and in New Orleans. I've never seen anything that bad. It is the worst. Of the positive, of national disasters that I can think of. The best of times is that the people came together. It didn't matter which agency you work for, whether you were state, local, federal, or just the civilians. Everybody leaned forward and pitched in and did what they needed to do.
The USS Porter is no stranger to holiday deployments. Neither are some of its 300-plus sailors. Petty Officer Steve here is on his fourth.
Life on board Porter is great. I'm the personnel specialist. I'm the LPO in here. What we do is, this is like the administrative hub of the ship. Everything that's administrative comes in and leaves out of this office, so we take care of that. We take care of the sailors.
This marks the second time QM2 Brenda has been away for Christmas.
The first one was difficult. I'm a single mother, so being away from my child was really hard. But I came up with a system that helps me, and I share it with other mothers in order to go ahead and all of us get together and pull through.
Lieutenant J.G. Phil has a lot of children to worry about. We asked him what he says to make his exit easier for the kids.
We tell them we are going to put some people in timeout, and as soon as they're done with their timeout, then Papa will be back. And they seem to enjoy it. Broke out the calendar, showed them, and so they know how many months. And
okay, kids, here's Daddy.
Happy holidays. Hello, wife, kids, mom, dad. Love you guys. I hope you're having a good holiday season. Thank you.
USS Porter, off again on a long and lonely holiday deployment. We've met some of the finest men and women this country produces. And for us, it all started with our first Navy Christmas project back in 1986. Let's take a walk down memory lane. In 1986, the Kennedy Battle Group was sailing the typical med cruise. Liberty meant Naples, Italy, a city visited so often by U.S. Navy personnel, it could be called the Norfolk of Europe. By the way, the singing you hear was not produced in a studio. We stumbled across a group of warehouse workers who broke into a spontaneous Italian lullaby. Not bad, eh? Remember the name John Wesley? He worked on these shows in 1986 and again in 1987. And then there was Laura Taylor. She helped produce shows in 1988 and in 1989 when sailors off the Donald B. Berry visited a special orphanage in Haifa, Israel.
The Berry sailors are welcomed to a Sabbath dinner with a song of peace. The dinner, the music, the singing, and the dancing brought many of the sailors closer to their own children, at home without Dad at Christmas. and made everybody feel this was no ordinary port visit.
1990 was Operation Desert Shield, the first of many visits to the Persian Gulf. Photographer John Aiken gave us his heart and soul in pictures like these for 3 years.
Hello, welcome.
The next year, the Eisenhower Battle Group was on Christmas deployment, and port calls meant Manama, Bahrain. In 1992, the Kennedy Battle Group was in the Med again. There were Liberty tours of romantic Venice while the carrier was docked in Trieste in the northeast corner of Italy. One family in Trieste extended an invitation to dinner for some U.S. sailors. Coordinated through the USO, these open houses are a great way for deployed sailors to experience a real home away from home. France was a welcome relief for the America Battle Group in 1993, a far cry from service off Somalia in Africa. Cynthia Lima went along as sailors from the USS Shreveport spent a day visiting children at a Toulon orphanage. In 1994, the carrier Dwight D. Eisenhower was in the Persian Gulf. 1995, the America Battle Group did the same. In 1996, it was the carrier Roosevelt on holiday deployment, taking over for the Enterprise. And in 1997, the USS Nimitz and the George Washington were away at Christmas. Now, we were in Israel in 1998 with the Nassau ARG.
Of so many things, we need him now. And you are now here in his presence. So please, before we leave this place, say something inside the heart. Open that shrine of yours, those doors of that shrine, because as he said, he dwells within you.
In 1999, the Nassau ARG was in Barcelona, Spain. And in 2000, a trip to the Vatican was among the highlights for Norfolk-based sailors and Marines.
Another Christmas season is at hand, and thousands of Hampton Roads military personnel are on assignment, far-fetched places all over the world, including this, Camp Anaconda, Iraq.
Post 9/11, the focus of naval operations and all Hampton Roads service personnel has centered on the Middle East. We owe all our area military our gratitude. All of us at WVEC TV are proud to be a part of this annual Navy Christmas program. What started out as a simple documentary 20 years ago on the sacrifices Navy families make has taken on a whole new meaning as all of Hampton Roads Armed Forces take part in the global war on terror. Make no mistake about it, we all respect and appreciate those who wear the uniform. Keep up the great work. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm Joe Flanagan.
Being apart from loved ones during this holiday season is hard. Knowing that your loved one is serving in the armed forces is even harder. We hope that this year's Navy Christmas has helped shorten the miles between you and your special military family member.
Taco Bell cares about the military. Our family is made up of military spouses, parents, children, and even veterans. A Navy Christmas has always been special to us. We'd like to conclude this year's program with some pictures of our loved ones who have served and are currently serving our country.
On behalf of the Taco Bell family, we'd like to wish you and your family a joyous holiday season, and God bless America. Happy holidays from all of us at Taco Bell.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays from Norfolk Rock and Newport News.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
I hope you've enjoyed the show. During this season, please take time to remember all those who are making sacrifices for our country.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
From all of us here at MHI, we would like to wish you all a very blessed and happy holiday. May God bless you all. Merry Christmas!
As this special holiday tribute comes to an end, the Dodge dealers of Hampton Roads again salutes all our armed forces for their commitment and sacrifices made serving our country. We also thank their families and loved ones for the support that they provide. On behalf of the Dodge dealers of Hampton Roads, happy holidays.
Once again, we want to thank all of our men and women in uniform and their families for their sacrifices. Have a safe and joyous holiday season from all of us at Smithfield Foods.
At USAA, we know what it means to serve. We also know what it means to have loved ones serving overseas. Here at USAA, many of our own employees have a loved one who will not be home with a family this year.
Hi, my name's Rebecca Colleran, and I would like to wish my husband, Kenneth Colleran, who's serving over in Iraq, a happy holiday from all of our family. We love you and we miss you.
Hi, my name is Joshua Kennedy, and this is my wife, Courtney Kennedy. Our cousin, Levon Kyler, is currently serving in Iraq, and we wish him happy holidays and pray a safe return back to us.
Hi, I'm Sharon Young.
And I'm Michelle Booten. We'd like to wish Nathan Burks on the USS Oscar Austin a Merry Christmas.
We love you,
Nathan.
We should never forget that the men and women of the United States military are giving Americans the greatest gift of all. They are protecting our freedom. So on behalf of USAA's 21,000 employees worldwide, we say to them, Happy Holidays!